Welcome. In front of me I have the OnePlus Nord 3 and today I'll go over unboxing of this phone and a quick look at it. Okay, we got nothing. Some card and some eject tool. Anyway, and here we get nothing. Now, under here, obviously our device. Turn it on. Next will be the charger, which is beefy 80-watt charger. And obviously the charging cable. So props to OnePlus for actually including a charger in the box. Some companies think that you don't need to charge your device nowadays, so yeah. Anyway, so let's start off with the display, which is a 6.74-inch display, 1240 by 2772 display with a very minimum bezels. Jeez. So this is apparently 89.8% screen to body ratio, so the bezels are pretty small, and probably if not for that hideous little hole punched camera, we would probably surpass, well, not probably, most certainly surpass 90% screen to body ratio, which would have been pretty nice. But nonetheless, the device looks amazing with these kind of tiny little bezels, so props. Now this is a fluid AMOLED display. Now fluid most likely refers to the fact that it supports 120 Hz refresh rate. That's about it. Now the display also has 1 billion colors, HDR10+, and peak brightness of 1450 nits, which is basically can get pretty bright. Now if we flip it over, we have what looks like a triple camera setup, though to be completely honest, one of those cameras is a 50 megapixel wide sensor, which will be the one that we will be using for the most part. Then we got an 8 megapixel ultra wide and a shit camera 2 megapixel macro. Yay, they just couldn't help themselves, I guess. So yeah, that's a little bit of an L. Now just to explain this for people that aren't aware, 2 megapixel shit cam like this one, macro specifically, gets outperformed by the 50 megapixel wide sensor, so it's literally useless. Especially that 50 megapixels sensor are usually, well, the software for it is designed a little bit better because it's a primary lens that you will be using, so it would suck if the photos out of it would come out looking garbage. So OnePlus will most certainly spend some time making those photos look good. Something that they won't do is make the 2 megapixel macro look good because they can't physically. So yeah, and that being said, so yeah, the 50 megapixel will capture higher resolution, higher quality photos, and that's not even a question. Therefore, that camera is absolute useless garbage. Now, at the front, we have a 16 megapixel wide sensor, and with the back cameras, you can shoot at 4K 30 or 60 and 1080p 3060, slow motion of 120, and with the front one, 1080p 30 frames only. Now, moving on to the internals, the device comes with a Dimensity 9000 processor, which is a pretty good processor. It's equivalent of a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 and 8 Plus Gen 1, somewhere between those two. So therefore, it is pretty powerful processor. It also has either 8 or starting from 8 to 16 gigs of RAM, depending on which option you go for. The one that I have right here will be the, I think, 16 gigs, meaning it comes with 256 gigabytes of storage, and the 8 gigabyte RAM comes with 128 gigs of storage, both being UFS 3.1. Now additionally, it looks like we don't have expandable storage on here. Yep, this is just a dual SIM support, so no expandable storage unfortunately for people that might be interested in this. And moving on, we have a 5000 mAh battery, 80-watt charger that you already seen, which is really nice. And it's advertised that the device charges from 1% to 60 in 15 minutes, and in 32 minutes it gets fully charged, so pretty good. What else is there left to say? Maybe the price tag. So this device is about $430 US, meaning it's mid-range priced with basically a flagship processor. So that's pretty nice, actually. So to sum up this device, it's actually a really good device. For the price, it, I believe at this point, outperforms my previous go-to phone, which was the Poco F5, which was $380 and came with a Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 1. This comes with a Dimensity 9000, which I believe is more powerful, at least I think. In any case, I believe this phone actually now is takes the crown, being the cheapest or best bang for the buck. Now, it might not be the cheapest at $430, but it delivers heck a lot of power for the money. And to kind of go over the pros and cons right here quickly, the pros, obviously the display, very small bezels, 120 Hz refresh rate, AMOLED display, all good things. Also can get pretty bright. The price tag obviously is a massive pro right here. Under display fingerprint sensor, which I personally like, though I know not everyone will. And that's primarily it. Oh, and obviously the processor. It's pretty good with the really good charging speed and good battery here. Now the cons, not very many. Massive con for me would be the shit cam right here, the 2 megapixel macro. It's absolutely useless here. It provides you with no added benefit. So yeah, it's an L. Apart from that, I don't really see any other things that I don't like about the device, to be completely honest. It's a pretty solid phone. Looks kind of like a flagship. Should work like a flagship without a problem. So yeah, it's all in a very affordable price of $430. So pretty nice. Now, with that being said, hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.